Corey, I think we thought these days were behind us, like a long ways behind us. The distant memory, the picture everybody remembers of me and you at Snuggy Hill on a rainy night. And we felt like those days were behind us. But, well, first of all, I just want to give a shout out to Vitamin Energy, who didn't know what they were signing up for when they agreed to sponsor the Warchant Wrap. But we appreciate them. And if you want some Vitamin Energy, you probably need it. Go to vitaminenergy.com, and they have Warchant BOGO as the promo code. You get 2 for the price of 1. And welcome back, all the haters. You might have taken last week off, but we welcome you back because we all need each other at this time. Florida State loses 42-16 here at SMU Gerald J. Ford Stadium, which is right behind me, and was an ass kicking I don't think we expected. Did you expect that to happen, Corey?
No. I certainly won't say I expected Florida State to win.
Well, most of us picked Florida State. Yeah, most of us picked Florida State to lose. For I think maybe all but 1 or 2 of us on the site picked Florida State to lose, but I think we all had it as about a touchdown or less.
Yeah, somewhere around there. This was not that. This was, basically once they called the face mask on Williamson, and it was on Williamson, by the way. At least I think from the replay I saw, Darian Williamson grabbed number 29's face mask, and they called it on 29. It was very confusing. The ACC network didn't help with the replay they showed, but I genuinely think it was a good call in a horrible spot. But I just wrote this in the column. It's like they had gotten a little life, right? They were only down 12 points, and they were getting the ball back with a 3 and out. But then, not to be nihilistic, but what does life even mean with this football team?
But you're not getting nihilistic.
But what does that even look like? Oh, they would have had the ball at the 20. 80 yards, that's nothing for this offense once it gets going. This offense is a joke. This team, this 2024 football team, is turning into a punchline. It is a punchline. They're 1-4. You can make an argument they're one of the 5 or 6 worst Power 4 teams in the country by most measures. Defense isn't good. Offense is horrific. Special teams lacking. So all around, man, it's not a lot to be excited about. And man, do you just wash it? And do you wash it and be like it's just another bad night in a season of bad nights, or do you go a little more big picture with it? Like, what in the F is wrong right now? What has happened here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to go big picture because the mistakes are everywhere. I think it was convenient for people the last few weeks to think, okay, well, maybe it's DJ. And if you make a change of quarterback, it gives some life to the offense, and that kind of buoys everybody, and things kind of start to – and they had some injuries on the offensive line. If you get those guys back – but the reality is, man, the problems were everywhere. And, you pointed out a couple of the mistakes, but I mean, they're all everywhere you turn. I mean, they got a hold on a punt. Yeah. I mean, Alex Mastromanno is the best punter, and don't screw it up. Don't mess up Alex Mastromanno's beauty. And that was like a. I mean, it was like a 60. I can't remember how many yards.
It was only a career-long 67-yard punt. Don't get it twisted. And then the next punt is fielded at midfield. So it ended up being a 33-yard difference in field position.
I mean, it's a 67-yard punt under duress. Yeah. And I don't know how you end up, again, like they practice special teams so much. They invest more time in special teams than probably any team in the country, and end up having to hold because you just blow a protection. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But it was that all night. It's coming out of the second, with all the mistakes they had in the first half, and there was a plenty of mistakes in the first.
Are you going to mention the play?
Well, I mean,
you have to go for it.
You know what? Before we get there, let's go to right before the end of the first half, where the 2 quarterback runs DJ Uyunglele, I want.
So you asked him. You asked him. Okay, I want to hear what he said. Let's hear.
First of all, he shot me the daggers he usually reserves for Aslan.
By the way, I like the first verb you used there. Not shot, but the other one.
The daggers usually that are reserved for Aslan. Since Aslan didn't make the trip, I got the daggers tonight. But it's like, I mean, how do you explain that? All he would say was that basically it was there. And they should have been touchdowns. Like,
when you watch the replay, Ira, it's clear as day. He should have.
I wanted to, and again, people are going to ask, like, why didn't you ask a follow-up? That's not how it works. We raise our hand, we ask a question, then they go to the next person. But what I would have liked to have asked is, So was the play supposed to be a pass to the other side of the field? Because that's the only way I could see how that was going to work. But anyway,
you know the phrase like, it was so open he could walk into the end zone. DJ was trying to do that. He was trying to look how easy this is. I can walk into the end zone. It was a quarterback. It wasn't a QB run. It was a QB walk, and he just fell 3 yards short of the destination.
There was nothing there even if he ran. At least the second time. The first time maybe there was a little bit of a hole.
Yes, and that's another thing, Ira. In that first play, when you see the replay, if Toafili makes a block,
right,
it's probably a touchdown. I'd also want my 250-pound quarterback to break a tackle, but Florida State doesn't do that.
But then that's the other question again, where you look at Norvell and say, listen, man, if you decided that you feel like you can run it down there inside the 5-yard line, then how about putting somebody else at quarterback? How about putting Lawrence Toafili or Cam Davis or anybody, DJ Lundy, whoever you want to put there? Why would the guy that clearly does not feel comfortable running, whether he's injured or whatever it is, DJ does not run forward very fast. So why would he get the call 2 times in a row?
What about, I just thought of this, Ira. What about Joshua Farmer? And you could call it the wild fat. And it's Farmer is enormous. Joshua, and I thought he played pretty decently today until the game got out of hand. But he wouldn't have been any slower going towards the goal line than DJ was right there. But that got lost because of the first play of the second half.
So then, we'll get there. So then you come out, you're only down 5 because SMU gives you a gift. They snap the ball over the punter's head. You are only down 5 points. You're getting the ball to start the second half. Here we go. First pass off Kyle Morlock's hands into right. Of course, not just off his hands, but of course, literally, I could have caught that interception. It went right to the dude. They punch it in, and the game. To me, the game's over at that point.
You also could have caught the pass.
I don't know. It was coming a little hard, but I probably could have caught the pass. I definitely could have caught the interception. But anyway, that's the thing. Like you talked about the Toafili missed block. I mean, there were a lot of those things in the game from veteran players. Like that was the weirdest thing. Is like this. It's not the same. This is where we started 5 minutes ago. It's not like it's the same problems. Now the problems are spreading. It's like a plague throughout the team because you get the buyer's hold. When you get the ball back, you cut it to, was it 12 points? It was like 28-16. And then you get a long run. You get a big play. It's a Toafili, and it gets called back on a holding. And it's like, man, like some of the biggest mistakes are happening by a lot of your older players. It's just, I don't know where to go, man. Like, so Norvell, from a big picture standpoint, I think Chris asked him if he felt like he's in danger of losing the team. Of course, he says no. He says that he's not seeing any drop-off in terms of guys buying in. In fact, he says if he sees anything, he'll make sure they're no longer part of the team. But, man, they didn't compete in the second half. Now, he did admit the response wasn't good, but they literally just they didn't compete in the second half.
Well, that's what bad football teams do, though. Like it's you have the horrible drop that leads to a touchdown. It wasn't even a drop. It was like a no-look pass.
It was like an assist.
Yeah, it was a great it was a hockey assist. DJ gets the hockey assist because Morlock hit him perfectly. It's like a well-run fast break. But then you go down and get the touchdown. You get a 3-and-out, and immediately your special teams you don't even think if there's a penalty on a punt. You're like, okay, that's just going to back us up. They keep the ball. But they keep the ball, and that was a wrap. The defense was like, I'm done. I'm done with you guys. I'm done with all y'all. Let them go right down the field. Like, they only got the ball at the 40, Ira. They started to go 60 yards. It wasn't like they got the ball at FSU's 20 after that, and they just went right through them. Their tight ends makes catches, contested catches in the end zone. Your tight ends don't catch anything anywhere. And it just, when you do look at the big picture, I wrote this, man, like you can't walk away from that stadium tonight, as you were about to here in a little bit, and say that's a well-coached football team.
Oh, no.
Not even close. And that's why I say, dare I say, it's Willie Taggart-esque. That effort tonight reminded me of 2018. Horrible penalties, and not only that, no answers, no adjustments. No, you feel like the game is lost when there's still 31 minutes left to play. And that's how I felt in 2018 and 2019. Like, he's got no answers. He can't fix this. Well, Mike Norvell can't fix this season. That seems clear. Or certainly can't fix this offense. And what's big picture troubling about that is, man, you're paid a lot of money to be able to figure this stuff out. And you have a bad football team. You went from undefeated to bottom 10 in the country in record time. And that's really worrisome, I think, for fans who believed in this guy more than anyone in December, and now they're really wondering, like, okay, do you think they're right to wonder, Ira, after this display, coupled with the other 4 weeks, was this guy a 2-year wonder, or is he a really good football coach?
Well, the problem is, man, I've always believed, and when you talk big picture, that players believe in results, and so you can have the best pregame speeches, you can have the best drills, you can do all you want to do, but at the end of the day, if you're not having good results, it's hard to keep guys bought in. And if you think back to Ireland and then the Boston College game, what Mike Norvell's one of his big talking points was, I see it at practice, it's just not translating to the field on Saturdays. And then the next couple of weeks, we saw the defense kind of carrying it over. You started to see a better effort from the defense. So at that point, you're thinking, okay, maybe if you figure something out on offense, if you can kind of, piece something together there, the defense has kind of found its footing. But then tonight, it wasn't just a step back; it was a leap back in terms of all the mistakes across the field. Like you said, I thought the defense, even with the busts, they had some busts. Obviously, the two long passes right down the middle. I don't know if you can tell on the TV version or not, but dude, there's not anybody within 30 or 40 yards on either of those plays.
Yeah.
Dude, just run it. It's almost like Florida State's defense thought you're not eligible to catch the ball between the hashes. Right. Like there was nobody anywhere near those plays. One of them they got bit. I think Shaheem or somebody bit on the flea flicker, but the other one just a guy running wide open. And so they took a step back, but you still had some moments where it's like, okay, they're stopping the run, they're doing some good things, but then like you said, once everything else fell apart, the whole thing fell apart, and he's going to have a tough challenge because he thinks, again, like, he was asked if he any concern about losing the team. He said no. But the reality is he's been wrong about this team since day one.
Yeah.
He thought they were going to be able to run the football. They can't run the football. He thought this was a team that was going to be one of his most athletic, most dynamic football teams he's ever had. Never had a team this fast, this strong. Had talked so highly about their whole offseason. So he had such high expectations, and he was dead wrong about this team. So now you wonder, is he wrong about that? And how much longer can he keep these guys together? Because, I'm not going to say they're going to quit, but, man, it's just hard. Football's hard, man. Football's hard to practice hard and try to get better when you're getting your head caved in by SMU.
Yeah, and look, man, the harder part of the schedule's coming.
Yes.
What's you go down to Miami and you're only putting up 2 touchdowns. Well, man, Cam Ward's going to be hanging half 100 on you. And who knows what's happening next week? Maybe it's a little easier because it's at home. But Clemson now all of a sudden looks like one of the better teams in the country. You aren't that. And that one could get ugly. And now you're not only staring at like a 2 or 3 win season, but you're staring at a 2 or 3 win season that feature a bunch of blowouts. That, like, it's all on the table right now how bad this could be, which I think, as we move forward with this season and having to talk about it each and every day, they're going to make some changes. Clearly, there needs to be some changes made. But in the meantime, it's like, what do you do? I don't look, man. I don't care if they go and lose 60-0 next week. I do not need to see DJ throw another pass in a Florida State uniform. It is utterly pointless.
How about just quarterback sweeps, though?
I'm all for that. Because that's a dynamic part of the game I want to see them start using more. He only fumbled once out of the 4 times he ran it, too, so he was quick enough to recover it. I don't need to see it anymore, man. I just don't. Do something. Not try to, like, you're going to win the game because Brock Lynn's playing. Figure out what you have going for next season, because if DJ was going to be a game manager, it'd be one thing. But he's out there throwing 2 picks and a Morlock assist, and then also fumbling, and they're not scoring, and they're not winning. So what is the benefit of continuing to play the older guy when you got somebody else that might be able to play?
Yeah, and as far as him coming out of the game tonight, Norvell said he was going to make the change anyway, but he also
to his pinky, right?
Yeah, when DJ messed up his hand too. So and they don't know what the future is for that right now, the immediate future. So yeah, to your point, you would think at this point go to Brock Lynn, but there was no decision made as far as that goes. They're going to see how DJ is obviously physically. But yeah,
Even
man,
that annoyed me, Ira. Like, you put Brock Glenn in the game and you just drop him back and throw your normal offense. Yeah. Let him run and get just not that he's Usain Bolt back there. Let him go make some plays with his legs and get into the game. Don't just have him scan the field and throw it. And he actually made a really good throw to I think it was Landon Thomas who dropped it. And then he had Darian Williamson down the sideline. Good decision. He's open for a touchdown. He just, of course, overthrew him.
Well,
but even that
I'm also not sure that the receiver ran full speed the whole time. We'll see.
Oh, well, great. Other than that, though, this is perfect thing we're dealing with here.
All right, man. Well, we should probably wrap it up here.
Man. Let's keep going.
Let me ask you this: if Kyle Morlock doesn't give his assist on the interception, do you think anything happens differently in that game? Do you think Florida State loses closer? You think there's any chance they win the game, or do you think it's a rout no matter what?
Yeah, it would have been interesting if they go down the field and score, but it's like, Ira, what are the odds of that? 20%? Yeah. Like, they don't score touchdowns, but if they had on that drive, because that's going to be, not only is it not SMU's ball at year 11, it's going to be a 25-yard gain probably. It's a really well-designed play. And so maybe you got ball first and 10 at the 40. You feel a little better about yourself. You're on a 2-0 run because you had that safety to end the first half.
Yeah. So you scored 2 straight points.
Two unanswered. It felt great. So maybe, but that's putting way too much stock on. Bad football teams find ways to do what Morlock did. They would have found another way to fumble it or drop a ball or miss an assignment and have a guy run free or yank a face mask. It's just what bad teams do. And this is quite obviously a very, very bad football team. And I think they played 5 pretty good teams, but nothing special.
No great teams.
And they're 1-4. They're 1-4, man. Yuck. But their scoring average did go up. They were averaging 15 a game coming in, or 15.2, I think. Right at 15. And they scored 16. So they're going up.
So and I actually missed this down in the field. We went down to the field for the last few minutes, which we don't.
Oh, cool, man! What was that vibe? What was that vibe like?
Well, so as the team's coming in the tunnel, one overserved Florida State fan had some choice words for the quarterback and also the head coach. And so we're getting to that point of the season now where we now have fans screaming at the head coach as he comes on the field. And I'm sure a lot of the people watching this, if you're still watching this, you would wish you could switch places maybe with that fan. But
it wasn't all on DJ. The offense isn't going to get much better, but clearly this offense isn't going to be anything with him. And I just can't watch the rollouts and the throws 10 yards out of bounds. We just don't need it anymore. But also, I will say this: his receivers let him down, and even the ones they caught, Jaylen Brown. Don't get tripped up, and it's an 80-yard touchdown, dude. I have a good idea that an SMU kid, if he catches it, doesn't get tripped up right there and probably goes 80 yards. Make a play.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown's probably low on the list of people we need to go after.
I know, but it's like that was symbolic.
But there was also another play in the first half where it's a deep shot. DJ threw it a little bit late. Jalen's got the guy beat. If he comes back to the ball, it's going to be a clear pass interference because the DB is just trying to catch up, but he waits to let the ball come down, and then the guy he's able to break it up. So anyway, yeah, man, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of areas that they need to make some improvement on, and we'll see what kind of strides we see this week, Corey.
I can't wait, man. Dabo's got to be just frightened to death about what he's going to see on Saturday night.
All right. Well, your column is going to be up on the site here shortly. By the time this is on YouTube, people can check out your column. I'm sure it's full of gems and no sarcasm at all.
No.
And we'll have more coverage as well. We also talked to Daryl Jackson, Lawrence Tofili, plus the Mike Norvell video is up. You can watch that and hear all of his answers over 20 minutes. And we'll have plenty more content coming at warchant.com. And then we're probably going to pivot to soccer here, guys, pretty soon.
They got all their players back. That big win on Saturday night for the women's soccer team. So yeah, you're right. Let's start doing that. Let's start doing Warchant Wraps for the soccer team.
And we'll throw in some free ones for Vitamin Energy for sticking through the season. Once again, vitaminenergy.com is the website. Warchant BOGO is the password, is the promo code. Excuse me, not the password. You don't need a password. That's the promo code. Buy two get two free.
Correct.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how BOGO works. Buy one get one free. Buy two get two free. Buy 10 get 10 free. And I'm going to sign off here from Dallas, Corey, and we'll see you out of practice this week. Thanks, Aslan. We'll talk to you guys next time.